Hey, welcome to episode 15 of Kicking It with Coach Dubb. I'm here with Carter Mclellan. I used to always murder your last name. How do you pronounce it?
Well, Mclellan. You're
McClellan.
close.
Yeah, I used to always kill it, right? I'm terrible with names. But I've coached Carter at Southlake. I coached her for 1 year. Carter is an outstanding young man. How you been doing, Carter?
Doing well. In my last week of college. It's virtual now, obviously, with everything going on. I'm at home, but I got 1 week left until graduation. So it's been a fast 4 years.
For sure. And I think your story will be able to help a lot of student athletes looking to make it to the next level. And no matter if that's just being a student or being a student athlete, because we talked a little bit off camera, you wasn't a high profile prospect. You wasn't a 4 or 5 star kid, but you became a 4 or 5 star kid in which, because you mastered your path, meaning you got everything of your talent. So I think a lot of people could learn from that. And Carter is currently attending WPI, which is set to graduate this year. So,
Yep. Graduate in a week.
how's your academics? You want to talk anything about your GPA, your academics stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So at WPI, I study management engineering. My concentration is industrial engineering, so I'm looking at like supply chain, process improvement, stuff like that. It's got something that kind of always interests me going to school. I'm going to graduate with a 3.59 GPA, which is a graduate with distinction at WPI. And so, yeah, I got a week left, and I've already started taking grad classes. So I think maybe at some point I'll go back and try to get my MBA.
For sure. How does your college football season go last year?
Oh, man, we were really good. We tied our conference, so we were co-champs. We went to a bowl game where we won against Western Connecticut. So that's my over the 4 years, that was my second bowl game that I got to be a part of. Was a starter. I scored a touchdown this year on defense. It's pretty cool. So yeah, really great season for us. We only lost one game. That was a pretty good way to go out.
What's some goals that you got planned for the future now that you're about to graduate?
Yeah, now that I'm about to graduate, well, I mean, first one I'm looking forward to, I accepted a job at Bank of America in Charlotte. So right now that's got most of my attention headed that way, and I'm looking forward to starting my career there. I think eventually, looking down the road, I think I'd like to get back into football as in coaching. I have some coaches around here have already asked me if I wanted to help out with the staff. So I think that's something I don't ever want to leave the game, even though I won't be able to play anymore. I still want to make an impact and help out. So I'll probably do a little bit of that and then just start my career at Bank of America.
For sure. Add me to that list of coaches that would love to have you a part of their staff.
Yeah.
So you got my number. Dial me up. So what was the biggest transition between high school and college for you?
I mean, are you talking about like in terms of academics or football or just kind of everything?
Everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll start with academics just because that's kind of how we started the interview. But anyway, coming from North Carolina, going up to school in Massachusetts, definitely it's a little different. It's a culture change for me, but I mean, it's something that I wanted to do, see what it's like up north, see what it's like outside of Boston. So a little different as far as culture goes, but difference between high school and college, really not much. If you've been doing the right things in high school and you've been working hard, you've already built those habits up, then going into college is going to be not too difficult for you. But I mean, if you're slacking off and you're not taking the right steps in the classroom right now, then when you get to college, it's going to be a shock for you. But I mean, for me, the transition wasn't too difficult. You got to learn how to be on your own. If you're going to play sports, you're going to play ball in college, you got to figure out how to manage your time, because you're not going to have that same – the time commitment in college versus high school is completely different. You know, you're expected to be in film every day, hitting the weights every day, being in team meetings every day, and then practice every day. So it's not just show up, practice, and then go play video games for 6.5 hours. I mean, you gotta handle your stuff, and you gotta be able to figure out, what time of the day you can get your work done. So I think that's probably the biggest transition on the academic side, just being able to manage your time the right way. In terms of the football side, it gets a lot more complex. We put in a different, game plan each week, which is not just, keying on certain guys. We put in basically a brand new defense every week. So we're always learning. You always got to be in that playbook and keeping on top of your stuff, because it's real fast paced and you're expected to know a ton of different defenses and formations and things like that. So I would just say being a student of the game is definitely required more in college than it is maybe in high school or lower levels. And then as far as like the game goes, I mean, it just plays a little faster, and you got to be able to read things faster, move faster. But I mean, other than that, like, that's kind of what I thought to be the biggest transition from high school to college.
How important is it to take your academic theories while you're in high school?
I mean, it's everything. Like, if you want to get set up for the rest of your life and get into a good university, man, you got to take your studies serious in high school. That's where it started with me. I actually really didn't figure that out until maybe my sophomore year. My freshman year, I kind of took the attitude, it's only freshman year, what's it really matter that much? And I mean, my grades were okay, but they weren't as good as they could have been. So, I mean, that's a regret I have even. I was like, what my GPA could have been, had I taken it more seriously in freshman, sophomore year. But definitely everything matters. It's just about building the right habits early. And, I mean, if it depends on what your goals are, but, I would say academics should always be first. And even if you end up wanting to go to, a big time school and you're going to go play Division I football, you still got to have a good GPA, and it's only going to help you out for the rest of your life. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a good GPA. I'll just say it like that. There's nothing bad that can come out of that.
Yeah, that's great advice. So how did your high school experience help shape your college life and experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think really my high school experience, I went to a pretty good charter school where, I mean, they kind of preach, having good academics and a lot of my friends, I think really what was good for me was I just surrounded myself with, the kids on my football team and kids of my peer group were all kind of had similar goals and similar interests. So I think that was the biggest thing for me. And I agree with is just kind of who you surround yourself with. All my friends want to get good grades and do well at sports, and that's kind of, I think, why I adopted some of the similar ideas and things like that, just because, I'm kind of just doing what they're doing. And I think wherever you are, I would just recommend surround yourself with the right people, surrounding yourself with the people who are doing what you want to be doing, and I think you'll be set yourself up for success.
For sure. Any advice to any high school student or student athlete looking to be where you're at right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say enjoy your high school experience. My advice, if you're looking to maximize kind of your academic potential as well as athletic potential, kind of get the best of both worlds. I mean, for me, I knew I was never going to play in the NFL or in front of 70,000 people at Alabama Stadium or whatever. That was kind of just something that I knew and never really had aspirations for. I mean, I always wanted to play at the next level, but I was just kind of being realistic about it. I didn't have the same talent that some of the other kids had, which there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I figured, well, I mean, if I'm not going to go to the NFL, then I might as well prepare myself for the rest of my life and try to get the best education possible while also playing, the sport that I love to do. And so for me, I looked at a bunch of different schools, D2 and D3, and for me, I think WPI just ended up being the right fit, just kind of had everything I was looking for. Good football team, good academics, and I made some great friends over the 4 years, got a good education, and played some real competitive football. So I would say for any high schooler who maybe is doesn't think they want to play D3 or thinks D3 is trash or whatever. I mean, I hear that kind of stuff, man. It's not. And there's some really good football players that come out of Division III and Division II. So, I mean, any collegiate football that you play is good football, and there's no shame in any level, even NAIA. If you're going up a level, it's real. Like it's legit. It's not patty cake football. You know, it was the real deal, and you know, I enjoyed every second of it.
Man, great advice, Carter. And one thing I try to tell students that got the big D1 dreams, it's not a real big difference. It's not a difference really at all. It's about you knowing who you are. And I think that's why I wanted to get you on, because you represent the best case scenario of knowing who you are. You knew your lane, you stayed in your lane, and you worked your lane. You got everything out of your talent. And that's a big salute to you, Carter. But you got kids that got these D1 dreams, and they would rather, if they don't get a D1 offer, they would rather go off and go to work. I'm like, look, football is football, man. Go somewhere and where you can get a good education and you can make an impact on a football team. I got a student athlete that signed with John Hopkins, and the thing was he wanted to get into like the medical field, right? So he's going to play Division III football, which that's not the meat. You know, the meat is his degree. But guess what?
Yeah.
He can play a little football while he's up there. That won't hurt anywhere. You know, I always say you cannot make it on to Sunday if that's your goal, if you don't play on Saturday. So you can get a guy that go to Alabama and ride the bench versus a kid say, you know what, I'm going to go D2, go D3, take that option, see the field, get the whole college experience, get a great degree. And they're more set up than that five-star kid that went off to this school or that school and didn't make nothing of themselves. So I think you represent a lot, Carter. So good stuff, brother. Now, what's some ways that I've helped impact your life?
Man, I was thinking about it, looking at your questions that you sent me, and I gave that some thought. And I think really with you, man, you've just been one of the biggest mentors I've had football wise. You know, my dad and I were talking about it going back freshman year. Man, you were one of the only people who, you believed in me before I believed in myself, kind of thing. So, I mean, that's something that I'll be forever grateful for. You kind of opened my eyes to the whole ability to potentially play college football. You know, as a freshman, 14 years old, you know, I was 5'6", maybe 160 pounds soaking wet. And, you know, I at that point in time, I didn't even know if I was going to make it to my senior year. But, I mean, you always believed in me, encouraged me, and, you know, got me on the right path. And I think you knew that I would just keep working, keep grinding. And by my senior year, you know, I bulked up, filled out, got bigger, and managed to go to the next level and have a good career there. So, I mean, without you believing with me, Coach, like, I mean, that was a big part of my process and something I can't thank you enough for. So I think definitely that's probably the biggest way you impacted me in my football career.
Wow. Carter, that means a lot, brother. That means a lot, man. And, you know, you first and foremost, props to your pops. Your pops was, you know, a great, and we'll get into your father a little bit later. But, you know, he was able to be that good role model for you. And that allowed you to receive great information and people surrounding you that was able to be mentors and give you good advice. So I appreciate that. So
yeah, for sure.
You ready for this fun part?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, throwing it back.
Yes, indeed, Carter. Throwback. Look at this squad right here.
Big 7-7 up there in the front.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you were 77. Now, a little backdrop to this. I got to put this disclaimer in here. Your father's a Vikings fan. Are you a Vikings fan?
That's right. I'm a Vikings fan, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this
Didn't have a choice.
This is why we was the Huntersville Vikings.
I know.
And then we had a former Viking, Jason Carter, as one of the coaches. So, I mean, I love this team. This is when football was really fun.
Yep. Man, I haven't seen this video in a while. Oh, yeah, there goes Taylor.
Who's 54?
Oh, who was 54?
Was that Rhino?
No, that might have been – no, because Rhino played on the Steelers.
There you go, Carter, number 77.
Big sevens. Oh, there you go. There goes Robert. And Jai's out there somewhere.
Yeah, there goes Jai, number 7.
Yeah.
NFL,
Man,
number 1
remember that
drafted.
time? Yeah, Jai lined up as a DN someplace. Because I knew he was so fast, trying to get the backfield.
Man, let's bring back some memories. I'm going to transition to this next clip. All right, and then once we go through our clip, I'll get your take on them.
Okay.
All right, Carter. So
Okay. Team USA.
And I think this is where my personal opinion, just knowing your journey for your 4 years in high school, I think this is where you gained your confidence. Because let me set this up properly. We're in the Cowboys Stadium, and you're playing for Team USA, and we're playing the international team.
Yep.
Number 47. There you go. Boom.
Yep.
Covered in space. Okay. I remember that play, Carter. I was actually on the sidelines on that.
Oh, you were there for that?
Yeah. Because, we was playing the game up front. So we had came out and I sat there and I wanted to watch what you all playing. I remember that guy making you covering the flats, guy catching it, and you read and react. And to properly set this up, these are some of the best kids. These are some of the best kids in the world at that point.
Yeah.
All right, Carter. So we get to your senior year, right?
Yeah.
Let's check this out.
Oh, this might have been junior year.
Oh, it is your junior year.
Maybe it's a mix. I don't remember. Yeah, because it's got charter on here. Yeah.
Yep, that's your junior year.
Yeah.
Man, you was a thumper. I just always remember you just coming in, just popping people. Like when you got your hands on somebody, they was going down. I've never seen you miss a tackle. Like I knew if you could get to him, you got him.
Yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, never the fastest guy, but I mean, if I could get there, I'm gonna take you down.
And you did a good job earlier in your career of just being an A gap, B gap plugger.
Yep.
Just being able to plug. And that's why it's so impressive to see you grow and go to Team USA and be able to cover the slot. And I mean, that's pretty big. That just speaks to your development. Wow, it's a big hit. Look, just getting in there and making a play.
Yeah.
All right, Carter, we just got finished watching some highlights. You want to talk anything about what you just saw?
Man, yeah, you saw it all. You saw the Pop Warner days, sophomore year, senior year, just kind of with me the whole way. Yeah, so it's pretty cool looking back. Back in when I was playing right guard and indoor team, never thought I'd ever really even be a linebacker. But, I mean, here we are. So, I just think, yeah, with all those teams, so many good friends and teammates and coaches that, I mean, that's the best part of football, man. It's not, I don't even remember really when you show those clips and those highlights what the score of the game was or who won or lost. But, I mean, I do remember every coach that was on that team, every player that was on that team, and then that's the most important part. So, and that's where I made all my memories for football has been just being around my teammates and friends. So, I mean, yeah, brought back good memories.
For sure. And I always remember you being a great teammate. I always remember you willing to help your teammates out. Like you said, the first part of your career, you got in where you played the positions that was best for the team to win. And you worked your way up to being an impact player, to being a college player. Because a lot of people don't realize, no matter if it's Division I or Division II, Division III, playing at the next level is something a lot of people cannot say. But a lot of people cannot say they played at the next level.
7%, 7% going on to the next level, something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Carter, we're going to get into some pictures. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I can't wait.
All right, let's do it. All right, Carter. What does family mean to you?
It's everything. Those are my two biggest fans. They were my biggest fans when I first started, and they were my biggest fans in my last game. I mean, and that's my supporting cast. They were with me every step of the way. I can't thank my parents enough. Done so much for me throughout my football career, helping me get to college, supporting me in college. Yeah, everyone go home, say thank you to your parents, give them a hug, tell them how much you appreciate them, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So can't say enough good things.
All right, let's talk about Mom.
There's Mama Dukes. Yeah, she's different than my dad. She's not. She's more the. I want to know what the right word is. My dad's more one to get on me after a game. Tell me what I messed up. Where my mom was be the first one to. Doesn't matter if I just let up two 50-yard scores and someone ran me over. She's gonna tell me about how great a game I played. So, yeah, I can never say a bad thing about her, and she never said a bad thing about me.
For sure, and she's a wonderful host too. Wonderful woman.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I never went to a party at your house that I didn't like. Great host. So shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
All right, the Mac man, Johnny Mac. Pops.
Mac. Pops. Oh man, he's done so much for me. Football career. You were talking about earlier, man. This guy been my biggest mentor throughout life and throughout football. He's, even though at times I probably didn't think he knew what he was talking about, man, he knew every step, the right thing to do. And he's not only been impactful in my life, but I know how impactful he's been on other kids' life, just similar like you have. Yeah, I mean, he's the best dad. He's my hero. The whole thing. Can't say enough good things.
Yeah, no doubt. And that impact stretched beyond just young men. He helped impact me. He was a mentor for me for many years as a coach. And I don't think I'll be the coach I am with the philosophies that I have without your father. He gave me a lot of nuggets and a lot of jewels that I need to hear at the right time. And your dad got a little style, because I'm checking out this shirt. Right?
Yeah.
The Mac man got a little style, because when I first met your father, he had a white belt.
Yep. And white belt.
And the white shades.
Yep.
I said, Mac got a little style. So,
yeah. That was cool in 2009.
Yeah, the patterns on because you remember Justice, my youngest son, could never say Johnny Mac. So he used to say Mac Johnny. Mac Johnny, Mac Johnny. And that was like the first couple words he spoke, like when he was really talking. Was Mac Johnny, Mac, your dad coming. So shout out to Johnny Mac, a real solid dude, man. I think he don't get the credit that he deserved in this area, man. He's put together a lot of different situations, a lot of coaches, and I'll I'll leave them nameless. They wouldn't have been eaten or got to start in this business without this man. And I'm the first one to say, I mean, this is a Zoom cast, but I'm here to give him his flowers and salute him to let him know that he is appreciated. And a lot of people don't appreciate him, but he put together a lot of situations, man. A lot of people ate off your pops. Don't get it twisted. They ate off of him, but, I certainly appreciate him. So, again, shout out to Johnny Mac. All right, your sister.
Sister, yeah. I mean, another one of my biggest fans, Katie. Yeah, we have a closer relationship than I think than most. Katie and I, we're pretty tight, and she supports me just as much as I support her. And now she's the only one left playing college sports, and I get to watch her and support her. So. But yeah, she's been one of my biggest fans, and I like to say I'm one of her biggest fans. So
absolutely, and she's playing Division I volleyball. Yep. So it's two college athletes in the same family, and I can imagine y'all are competitive. But I always remember Katie because Katie was always around. But you remember Justice had a crush on her and Margot.
Yeah, that's right.
So I wake up one morning and Katie and Margot is all over my wall because as you can imagine, it go well with. So I remember that was Justice's first girlfriend, her and Margot.
Right. Yeah.
So shout out to Katie.
Shout out Katie.
All right. We talked.
There you go. Yep. Freshman year to junior year. That's kind of that transition we're talking about a little bit there. I was maybe 155 pounds in that picture on the left, and then I was probably 195 in that picture on the right. And then by my senior year, I was 210, and in college I was about 225. So just hard work, keep hitting the weights. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to look at the difference.
Yeah, because these are two different looks, Carter. This look over here at Southlake looks like
yeah, I mean, I look like a mighty mite.
But this junior year picture, because I remember I came to two of your games. This is a grown man Carter right here. This Carter confident Carter, and I wouldn't say you lack confidence over here. Just like that's not a good look.
Yeah, no. Yeah, switch the number up. Got a more fitting jersey. Yeah, I know what you mean.
All right. Speaking of transition, Cowboy Stadium. How was that feeling?
Man, that was one of the probably best experiences I ever had, playing football. I mean, we talk about not many kids can say they played college football. I mean, even more kids can't say they played in Cowboy Stadium. So, I mean, that was probably one of the coolest experiences I'd ever had, getting dressed up in the locker room, coming out there with the USA jerseys on and seeing myself on the Jumbotron in Jerry World. Pretty cool place. So one of my best experiences. I know I have a lot of people that helped me out through that, and I know I have you to thank for that, and my dad helped me with that and just get me where I needed to be, support me with the camps, and help me get to that spot. So yeah, that was one of the best experiences I had playing football.
And Carter, the most important thing, you worked for it. Like you always showed up. Like even if you had an opportunity, guess what? You always showed up. It wasn't like you was just out there. You was making plays, as we've seen in your clips, and you would thump. So,
yeah,
good stuff. And you didn't just do Team USA 1 year; you did it multiple years.
Yep, 2 years.
All right, grown man Carter.
There we go. Senior year. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see how much I grew and I changed. I mean, it was a good year for me playing college ball, especially because we played on a really good football team. So, I mean, it's one thing to play college ball, but it's another thing to be a part of a really good football team. You know, we really only lost one game, and we blew a lot of teams out this year. So, yeah, I made like I said, like those other teams, made a ton of good friends. You know, a lot of connections I made, and yeah, it was a good year.
I'm gonna tell you something. I looked at this picture and I looked at it for a while. I said, "Wow, that's Carter. Like
That's
huge. Like
yeah.
all right." I remember seeing a video on this, and I was looking for the video for it. And I'm not sure if this is the play, but I remember you getting a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Is this it?
Yeah, that's it. The scoop and score.
Scoop and score.
That's right. Yeah. That was that might have been the highlight of my year this year. Getting the score, the college level, man. It was a pretty cool experience.
How was it? Like, let's break it down in its proper form.
Yeah. All right, we can go through the whole play. So we're
Let's
playing
go
a
through it.
triple option team. It's an academy school, so it's like the military school. They run the triple option because they're a little smaller, so they run that funky ass offense. But there was a pitch play. QB's going out. The guy fumbles a pitch. You see my teammate there, 57, tackles him, so he can't get the ball. Ball pops up. I'm there to scoop it. I'm running it back. It's probably 25 yards to the end zone. The quarterback, he's tracking me down. He's on me. Like he had an angle on me. I was worried. And he tackles me right as I dive on the pylon. So, I mean, I didn't just get to walk in. So there was but it was cool, man. That was our first defensive touchdown that we'd scored all year. So we were all going crazy in the end zone, and everyone there in the stands and the sideline fired up. So, I mean, it was a pretty cool experience.
Man, for sure. And I can imagine how your father, I would have liked to be beside him. I bet you did he tackle you? He probably was one of the people to tackle you in the end zone. I know
He wasn't there. He was watching at home.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He was. But I mean, he was the first person to call me after the game, and he was all excited. My mom was all excited. So, I mean, it was pretty cool.
Well, good stuff. I know when I seen I got it, so I said, "Wow," and you was getting it.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, I love this picture. People that don't know, the inside, they don't know how symbolic this picture is. The Griggs family. I think that's everyone's family with Jimmy and Sharon, and this is our family, right? This is our family. This is our unit. You want to talk about this picture and playing with Lil Griggsy or against Lil Griggsy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean that family, like, yeah, you already touched upon it. Jake has been. I call him my little brother, even though he'll get upset for me calling him that. But he's my little brother, not my big brother, my little brother. But he was on my first football team. We grew up playing Pop Warner together. We were in that first highlight tape you showed with the Huntersville Vikings. He was on the Steelers. It's been a friend of mine throughout growing up in high school, and then his family moved to up in Vermont, so we didn't get to play high school ball together, but he ended up going to college at Anna Maria, and we ended up getting to play again. So, I mean, it's just cool to see how stuff comes 360, full cycle, and that kind of bond we have growing up playing football together. And, I mean, he's my friend as a 6-year-old, and he'll be my friend as a 46-year-old. I mean, Jake is going to be he's a lifelong friend, and his whole family, lifelong friends. And I mean, that's just the beauty of football, man. Like the guys you meet and the connections you make, the relationships you build. I mean, these are the guys that I'm going to cherish the rest of my life. So.
And yeah, shout out to Jimmy, Sharon, Jacob, Griggsy. Shout out to them. All right, Carter, we just went through some pictures. Any last advice to any student athletes or students out there?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I was able to give you guys some, some good insight on what it was like to, my experience in playing Division III football up in Massachusetts. North Carolina kid going all the way up there. So I don't have any regret behind it at all. If I had any kind of, insight or advice to give to someone in high school, maybe in my position, just, enjoy every second of it and enjoy the teammates and friends that you're going to make and have throughout the years. If you're interested in going to college and you're interested in playing at the next level, man, take care of your academics first. Coach Dubb talks about it all the time. He's absolutely right. It was so helpful for me. And then, don't ever, throughout the recruiting process, man, even if you're going to go big time and play Division I football, don't ever, I would say never turn your back on a coach who's reaching out to you and wants to give you that time, man. Always give coaches the time of day. I mean, if they're going out of their way because they want to talk to you, man, I would always just say my biggest piece of advice is hear them out, listen to them, because you'll never know what might happen in 2 years and who you might need. So never burn a bridge. Listen to everything, learn from mentors like Coach Dubb and other coaches, man. These guys have been through it already, and you've seen hundreds of kids go through the system, and kids who, have kind of flunked out and, gone the wrong way. So, these guys have got so much advice that they could give you. So I would say just listen to your mentors, listen to your coaches, listen to the guys who've done before, and then if you got a dream, go out and get it. So those are my probably advice that I could give out. And if anyone is interested in WPI, Division III football, what it's like playing up in New England, anything like that, Robert, I hope you have them reach out to me. I'd be glad to let them know, anything else they want to know.
Yeah, I would love to bring you in during our season, come in and speak with the boys. So let's set that up. And even we're doing Zoom meetings, so you're even welcome to come and talk to the boys.
Yeah, anytime.
Any last shout outs?
Shout out to everyone I've grew up playing football with. Shout out to my Lake Number Charter crew. Shout out to Southlake crew. Some of the kids I played Davidson Day with. Huntersville Vikings. So we can keep going all the way back. Shout out to you, Coach Dubb, for bringing me on here and mentoring me throughout the whole process. I know even now that my football playing days are over, we're still going to be in touch and we're still going to have that relationship. That's just something that that football bond won't ever break. So, yeah. And most importantly, shout out my parents, right? That's who's been behind the whole thing and helped me throughout the whole way. So,
for sure. And Carter, I'm going to tell you something. I am not surprised. In talking with your dad, he was like, Carter got a great job, and you just made a big time purchase. What's that purchase?
Yeah, man, I bought my first car. Yeah.
Not any regular car. What type of car?
I bought a BMW, man. I bought an X5. Yeah.
See, when you put in the work and you work hard, you handle your business, you reap the benefits of your hard work. And one of my favorite sayings, play now, pay later. Pay now, play later. So you're in the playing stages right now with the BMWs. And
that's right.
And anyone that knows you and knows your story, Carter, we're not surprised. I remember you coming in tonight. I remember you coming into middle school, and I remember you coming in ninth grade. And I remember being at your graduation party. And you was always destined for greatness. You always was mature beyond your years. Most importantly, you was always respectful, and you was always willing to receive feedback and correction without getting offended. It seemed like it always motivated you. And the more someone told you you couldn't, you always went and proved them wrong. And then you just had a solid confidence about yourself, Carter. So everything you're doing now, we're not surprised because you put in the work, brother. And look, enjoy it. And if you need coach, I'm a phone call.
I'm glad to hear it, man. I appreciate it, Coach.
For sure. Well, it's good having you on, Carter. Appreciate you.
It's good to be on. Yeah.
If you need me, I'm here.
Will do. I'll reach out.
No doubt.